All right, so I've completely wire wheeled this with the drill and the little wire wheel attachment, and I don't know what I've done with that footage, whether or not I did a separate video, 15-minute video of just me wire wheeling it, or if I did a cookie cutter stop motion fast cut sort of typical deal. But either way, that's where we're at now on this 18, and we're going to clean it up a bit. We're doing the most work on this to begin with because, well, there's not as many issues with this. I'm going to hit this with the wire wheel at some point, and you're probably saying, well, why did you even bother with all the chemicals and blah 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 if you're just gonna wire wheel it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because 15 minutes of wire wheeling versus 15 hours of wire wheeling with a small wire wheel. Of course, I would use the bench grinder normally, but anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, I'm talking to you, the viewer, someone trying to get into this, and maybe you don't have all the bells and whistles. You know, you can go to a thrift store and buy an old drill and find a wire wheel attachment for a couple bucks, and you can do this yourself. That's why I'm showing this to you. That's the idea here. That's the process. So again, we're going to be using some rotary tools. These are pretty inexpensive, these Dremels. I've had this one. This only has one setting. I've had this one for since I was a kid, and I've also got a variable speed with a little end mill on it, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So let's get right into it. Let's open this bad boy up. And so what's going to happen here, I know you're in it for the sounds, what's going to happen is I'm going to grind down some of these areas that are a problem, or they've been dinged or whatnot. The only issue here is going to be our pin. I don't want to grind that down so much that, you know, it goes through, and then I have to put some kind of fastener in there or come up with some other plan. Probably just put another pin in and mushroom it, but I don't want to do that. That's too much work. I would have done that already, right? You know, so we just got a few areas here. I want to grind this down, and this big pit here, I want to at least smooth that out, make it look a little better, and maybe some of these areas here that are kind of sharp. I don't know if you can see this one right here. Yeah, there's some problems with this thing, where it could take a bite out of me at some point, and I'd rather not have that. Remembering that this area here is going to be bare metal, and so that we want that to look really good. All the rest of it's going to be painted, except for the jaws, of course. And so we want that to just have a nice uniformity and look good. It's okay if it's a little rough. I think this was sandblasted to begin with, so I mean it's got little pits in it. That's normal. If we look at a brand new Ridgid wrench, you'll see that it has that sort of texture on it, but it doesn't have this, you know, these dings and stuff taken out. So we're going to do yet more tooling here. I'm going to get this grinder out first. Grinder. You know, I'm going to get this Dremel with a little grinding wheel. Now you can get the sandpaper attachment. This is a small stone on here. I may even swap it out for the sandpaper. Either the little sander. Either way, this is going to take care of these pits here, sort of even it out, at least give the appearance of a smooth surface. And that's what we're going for. We're going for something that looks a little better than that. So, here we go. Now, as is well known, I strive for nothing less than perfection, but this is pretty good. There's still some rippling. I don't know if you can tell that as I shine it in the light here, if I'm getting it in the frame, but there's still a little rippling, but there's not those big gashes taken out, and that's really all I care about. I don't want those gashes. Okay. Now, I'm going to get this variable speed plugged in because with the little end mill on it, because I want to recreate this line here. I just want to make sure that it has good enough depth. We're going to check the other side here. And I mean, this is probably okay, but and all I've done there is just defined the line. Now, because of that. I'm going to hit it here. Okay. There. Isn't that better? Isn't that much better? I think so. And once we get some paint on there, oh man, are we going to love it. Now get ready for more sounds, more wonderful sounds here. We're going to get into this pitting here. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how can I make this any worse than it already is? Well, I don't know. I think I can make it a little worse. I'm going to take that stone off, and I'm going to add now the stone of triumph. The stone of shame is going to go away, and here we go. Let's see how this little sander works. That's a more like it. Hey now. Problem is these are chintzy little things. Gah. I'll show you how to do it wrong too. You know, that's what you learn from. You go, watch how this guy did it. Don't do it like that. Okay. Now, let's hit that again with the wheel, just for kicks. This isn't a trash can. This is actually where I put scrap steel. I know you were all wondering about that. Here we go. Yeah, that's going to show up weird on the paint. I can already tell you that for sure. So what I'm going to have to do, what I'm going to have to do here, what am I going to have to do? I'll take a little sandpaper to it right now. What have I got here? 180, just random. Let's see what happens. It's like, oh, would you rather have dings or real ugly scratches. Is that the, you know, if you had to choose, what would it be? We strive only for perfection here. You gotta just get some kind of uniformity here. Okay, that's acceptable. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. That's gonna be just fine. Okay. Here though. Yeah. That's probably where I should have left it alone, but sometimes you just can't help yourself. Okay. Now, feel good about that. Yeah, as good as I can, I suppose. Oh, I'm at it. Just kind of hitting those letters. All right. We've had fun with that. Let's go back to the stone of shame. This stone of triumph was not very triumphant. We will now endeavor to carefully take care of this issue on this other side, which is right here. Should just be smoothing it out. Let's do it, shall we? Okay. Almost got it. Exciting, isn't it? Let's see. Look at that. It's more machine now than man. Yeah. So we've taken out some of the pits, some of the big dings. We've still got some in there, but I'd have to take all this metal off, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, I think we're ready. This guy is ready for primer. No, not quite. I'm going to hand sand it again. Just do a once over across the whole body here with the sandpaper. Here, you want to see something fun? There's some magnets. I don't know if this is true for everybody, but at my elementary school, when we would go on the playground, some of us would bring magnets and we just put them in the dirt, and you'd pick up so much iron. There was so much iron in the sand at the playground. It was incredible. We'd get bags of this and we'd refine it and, you know, take the magnet over it again and again. Anyway, who knew that's the kind of stuff that was fun for us nerdy children. Let's see, let's do a 120 and just give it an old once over here. Now, here's where I didn't do anything, was back here. And you know what? I'm not going to do anything back there. I really should take that off, though. I don't have any, but this would be a good time to get some, a little bit of alcohol on here to clean off some of this dust. But okay, so what's going to happen to this guy, the next step here, now that I've done all this machining on it, the next step is going to be the polishing of the areas that we want polished. And where do we want to polish? Well, we want to polish the jaws. We want to polish this piece right here. And that's on both sides. And then the front here, this area. All the areas we're not going to paint. So this part of the jaws here. And then you can see a small definition there from here down, all polished. Everything else is going to be painted. This will be painted black, and that includes here. And what we'll do, I like to see the lines, and so we'll probably take a lighter color and just cover these numbers. Maybe the logo. I might leave the logo black. I don't know exactly how it's going to look. So I'm going to go a little step ahead here. That's probably going to be tomorrow's video, because we still have a lot to cover today. I don't know if you knew that, but we've still got a lot to cover today. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to work our way up a variety of sandpapers until we're going to go one way, then we're going to sand another way, sand one way, sand another way, sand one way, sand another way, until we get it nice and shiny. And we get up to about 1600 or thereabouts. Once we get up there, I'll probably just hit it with the never dull. I might get, you never know. You never know with me. I might surprise you with some polishing compound and whatnot, but you know, probably not going to happen. Okay, so we've done that. We'll add this back here to this area. And let's get out some of our other friends that we were looking at yesterday. We set that here. Just realized I have like alcohol wipes on the bench here. This world we live in, I'm always ready. We gotta disinfect. Look at that, see how dirty it is? That's all just dust, steel dust. Okay. That'll be good. Okay. Into the floor you go. All right. Let's open her up and see how we did on some of these items. Well, we know certainly that not all of these items are going to be completely ready. Oh. Here we are. Here's our ratchet. The unreliable ratchet. It's looking pretty shiny in there. That's good. Okay. Let's get this as clean as we can, as dry as we can. While we're getting this out, I'll tell you a little story about being a young man, very young man, a preteen into early teens, let's say. And, you know, I lived with my mother, and she got HBO. It was a big deal. We got HBO, and I think she got it for, oh, there was that. I want to say it was for that Tom Hanks miniseries, From the Earth to the Moon. So I don't know what year that was. Whatever year that was. And nobody knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, on HBO, on Friday nights, they had a show, Dennis Miller Live. Okay, if you remember who Dennis Miller is. And he was a comedian at one time. I think he's pretty much like an AM talk host. No. I don't think that about him. He's all right. Dennis Miller's all right. Anyway, he had a guest one night. Somebody I had, you know, I'd see little bits and pieces of him on television, on regular TV, and I was a big fan. And I was very excited he was going to be on Dennis Miller, and I think by that point I was just old enough that my mother would be like, yeah, you can watch a little of this Dennis Miller show. You know, he curses a lot, so yeah, and he does. And on comes this fella, Canadian fella, who used to have, well, he took Dennis Miller's job. Well, I didn't take his job, but they had the same job. And beating around the bush here, he gave a very colorful simile description of what Joe Camel, the cartoon cigarette spokesperson, looks like. And I laughed and laughed and laughed, and I couldn't stop laughing. And I loved this man, and anything if he was on a show, I had to watch it. And even to this day, there's a YouTube channel called I'm Not Norm. I'll subscribe to it. Anytime they uploaded something, I'd watch it. It's just always funny. And it was sad to learn today that Norm Macdonald, the great comedian, passed away. I'm sure he'd say something sarcastic, sardonic about it. Some of his humor was pretty morbid, but always made me chuckle. And, you know, especially in my formative years, impressionable young man I was, hearing his juvenile humor, but put in such a way that, I don't know, I can't quite explain it. God, I think I saw Dirty Work in the theater, as I think about it. Wow, I might have been the only one in there. Yeah, what a guy, what a talent, and I know he'll be missed by many. And I hate to date this kind of video where I'm talking about rebuilding ratchets and grinding tools and stuff, but if you've held on this long, yeah, maybe you want to hear something. I don't know. Are you feeling morose today? You feeling sad today? No, not necessarily. I do this at the end of the work day. Okay, I work all day and then I get off work and I do this. So some days I'm a little chipper, some days, ugh. Let's go to the bar, right? You get that kind of feeling. Okay, so we're still looking for the spring, and we might as well get this Crescent out of here. And see, it's clean, but it's still yucko. And here's what we're gonna do with this Crescent. Remove these glasses. I hope everything's in frame here. But yeah, talk about the kind of comedians, you know. A lot of SNL comedians of that era, I think. Well, he was sort of after that era, but there was that late 80s, early 90s golden era. Those guys, all those guys were great. And, you know, I was a, you know, a young kid when Chris Farley died. And I know I heard it on the radio, you know, on the way home from school, and ran into my room, and I think I sobbed on the bed to learn that Chris Farley had died. And a few months later, Phil Hartman was murdered. That was a terrible thing too. Look at that. We can get this out of here. You know, Norm was 61, I believe they said. And you know, he had a good long life. So, well, not long enough, really, but, you know, he got to do quite a bit. So he should be thankful for that, and thankful that he was here to make us laugh, make us smile. Or if you didn't like him, yeah, you know, that's the beauty of that. And some people get on my case about who cares about celebrity deaths. It's all false idols and blah, blah. No, dude. You know, oh, you didn't know the guy. What do you care? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter, because something, you know, whether it was a musician or artist or whatever, actor, you know, there's something about this life. They made this life a little more interesting for us. Okay? Sorry, we like to be entertained. You know? There's, if all you do is sit around consuming, well, that's a problem. But, you know, when you take a moment, you sit a spell and you watch a funny movie or a funny show or something, nothing wrong with that. No one should be, you know, given any crap for that. If you want to have a good time and laugh and feel good about something, if someone else helps with that, you know. It's that thing, the Muppet movie, you know, making millions of people happy. And there's all different kinds of ways to do it. You know, maybe the humor isn't your thing. That's fine. I didn't show you this yesterday, but I did throw this other file in here. I did that this morning, off camera. This is all I'm going to do to this file. It just needed a good cleaning. The card just wasn't doing it. There's this rasp too. Ooh, so it's got this paint on it. I don't This was a Habitat special from a while back. I don't remember when I got it, but okay. Here's these guys. I gave up pretty easily on not taking these apart, and that's okay. I don't really care. All right. Because they're cleaning up rather nicely. Now, were these painted? Are we discovering that these were painted, or perhaps japanned? Were they black? That's something we'll find out more once we dump it in the evaporust. That'll really tell us what these are doing. That'll really give us a clue. But yeah, some people, you know, they get like, oh, why do you care about celebrities and blah, blah, blah. Well, tonight, you know, it's those people that make us smile, give us some entertainment. I mean, there's crap out there, and maybe you thought Norm was crap. That's fine. You know, everybody's got their own opinions. Maybe I think some of the stuff you like is crap. Maybe I don't like what you do. Here we go. What you like. You know, I'm not a big fan of reality shows, for instance, but if you want to watch that stuff, let's go right ahead. It's not hurting me. Okay, enough of that topic of conversation. Let's talk about tools here. Where is the spring? Let's talk about that. Let's see if I got a magnet or something magnetized handy. A magnet that I don't mind sticking in here. Where is that spring? I didn't already take it out, did I? No. No, I wouldn't. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think we're good. We are good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dump this simple green, this degreaser, into the bucket to be filtered later. We're going to keep filtering it until it's no good. And that's really what I like to do with this, with these sorts of chemicals. I don't like to waste a lot of stuff. So what I do is, you know, just reuse as much of it as I can. I would suggest you do the same. Okay. Now we've done that. We got most of the degreaser out of here. That looks like, anyway. So let's pour the old. Let's get this stuff. Let's see if we can keep it from sloshing around too much. Because it will do that. It'll slosh out. This is not an airtight seal on this container, unfortunately. And it's almost filled to the brim. Here, let's. As you can tell, I did not filter this out. Probably should, but I think it's going to be all right. That's not as important. So as you can see, it's starting to get a darker color, but it's not like totally black. That's when you know you done goofed. All right, Crescent. So there we go. That piece there. Now, on some of these, there's a little spring, like a brass spring, and this one doesn't have that. Or if it did, it might be stuck in here. I don't see it. Yeah, it would be in there somewhere, or it could have gotten lost. Yeah, that's odd. Some of these are. I've had such bad luck with these pins. You know, it seems like every other one I do, I take it apart and it's split and you can't get it out, and you can't get it properly cleaned and working, you know, and functioning properly without doing that. So we didn't do it yesterday. But as you can see here, yeah, it gets pretty gunky in there. But don't worry, friends, this is going to be one shiny wrench when we're done. And again, we like the Crescents to commingle. So let's stick this other one in here. We're going to find out if this is painted or japanned or what. Whether it's been japanned, which is like a chemical process. I don't know about the heat treating. That's outside of my purview, but I do know that if it's been japanned or painted, this will take it off, and it's not going to do anything to this rubber, plastic, whatever. It will take some of this gunk off here. We're just going to stick it all in there and shake it off. You're probably saying to yourself, you should get another container so you can start degreasing this stuff. And you know what? I should. I really should. I used to have a second container, but I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. It got, broke. Okay. Last thing here. We're going to wrap it up here with a little ratchet rebuild and see if we can get this thing working again. Which, let me grab something. I'm gonna walk backwards. Don't look at the secret stuff. Okay. Don't look at the secret stuff. It's secret 'cause it's not part of the show. Please, Joe, don't sing. All right. You got it, friends. Alrighty. Let's see how we're looking. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for worn teeth. And these aren't great. There are some, and I'll show you here. If we get up real close, where's the lens? Somewhere around there. Okay. If you look here, there's some wear on some of these teeth. Not that bad. Yeah, like right here, this one. This one's a good, in this area here. That's a good example of some wear. Let's see if I get real weird here. We can just kind of what was the point of doing that? I don't know. I think I know sometimes. Yeah, see, there's just little bits. There's this one. It's got a little divot in it. And we're going to see if this works. We're going to see if this is still functional. It might not be. And in which case, we're going to go to Lowe's or order the rebuild kit, whatever we got to do. Or is there still? I really don't want to turn the air compressor on. That's really only for your guys' benefit. I really should turn the air compressor on and blow this out, but it's pretty dry. It's all dry. Okay. Okay, remember that spring? Here it is. All right, let's just oil this spring up. Just get it kind of greasy and stick it in there. Okay. And let's just fill this whole well with oil. There we go. We're gonna over lubricate this. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of overkill. Now, what do we remember from last time on what to do here? I think we know now what we're gonna do that we didn't do last time. This is interesting. This may have already been rebuilt because look at this. It's like it could go either way. Or is that true? It's one of these, a bigger opening. Or there's ideas in my head. I'm just not verbalizing them. So what I'm curious about is this opening on here. Is this the same on both sides? This one looks smaller, but it might just be that kind of dimple that's in there. But I feel like this is reversible. You could put this in either way, which is odd to me. Usually one side would be smooth, the other would have the slot for the knob, for the shifter. Let's see if we can't just get this in here. Okay, so we got that in there, and we got it shifting. Let's pop this back in. If it'll let me. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's no good. Okay. It got a little greased up, but like I said, let's get a little overkill. Nothing wrong with that. We'll just lay it on thick. Not gonna hurt a ting. Let's switch it. All right, we're not having the issue it was having. As you recall, it was seizing, and it was just causing all sorts of problems. It was unreliable, right? We don't like that. We don't like things that are unreliable. So let's make it reliable. What did I do? Oh gosh. That's what I get. I cleaned the table and now I'm losing stuff. How about that? Don't worry about it. We'll get it. Ooh. Ooh, we're having fun now. Okay. The other snap ring. It's around here somewhere. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You'll know if I'm worried about it. You'll hear me. This will not become as wholesome of a show as it has been. Thus far. Okay. And we don't want that. We don't want to go down that road. Hey now. Just put it in with my fingers. That's what I did with the other one, remember? This is a bit heavier of a clip though. Probably don't want to do that. There we go. Okay. Now we're in business. Or business. Either one is correct. People know what you mean with what you're saying. Okay. So we're gonna go on this hunt, which may be edited out for convenience sake. You know, you put stuff down, you think, ah, it's safe here. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through the footage and find it that way. But I am notorious for losing these things. I lost one on that other, where I put this ratchet right here a while back, you know, before I was filming these. The smaller version of this exact ratchet, and it went flying, as I recall. I know we're not going to freak out. We may have to just come back tomorrow, and I'll be like, oh, I looked at the footage, and here it is, and I'll pick it up, and off we'll go. I think that's what we're going to have to do, because it's just, it would be ridiculous for it to be in here. We don't have failures. We have happy accidents, right? Happy accidents where we misplace a very important piece. And so what have I learned from this? What have we all learned? Let's learn together. We're all in this together, as far as I'm concerned. What we've learned here is that you need to have a little magnetized bowl or something on your bench. That's an absolute necessity, because otherwise you're gonna lose these little pieces. They go flying, and who knows where they end up. Okay, you knock it down, you don't see it, you brush it aside, you crumple it up into a paper towel, and it gets thrown away. So when we find it tomorrow, we know that this ratchet now functions like it should. Wait, I say that and it's like, no, it's still behaving like it was. No, not at all. Look at that. It sounds like it should. I can shift gears without any trouble, which is what I was having. It was unreliable, as we recall. It's not going to be very reliable if it's not snapped in, though. So we'll return tomorrow. I'll look through the footage and I'll tell you exactly what happened to that, and you can all laugh about it then. Just kidding, I'm not coming back tomorrow. Hey, it was in the trash can. I actually threw it away. I actually threw stuff away on camera, and I threw away the snap ring. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's just put this thing back together. Who knew? I don't know how much of me searching we're gonna keep. This one might be a little edited, because man, I've been kind of, hey guys, I've had a long day, I'm real tired. Yeah, this is for fun. This is all for fun and just having a good time, and we're all just learning together and having fun. Isn't that right? It is party time at the old. Oh, by the way, yeah, we have a name for the channel and everything. Got a little logo. Yeah, it's getting serious now, friends. I might have a little, well, I don't want to be one of those guys. Go to my Patreon, and, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe if I focus more of my time on this than my actual job, I might have to. But, no, I'm thinking, yeah, man, I'm already way ahead of myself here. I'm thinking stickers and, you know, who knows what. I'll get a t-shirt with my catchphrase. You know, it'll be great. Or, you know, quotation marks, or parentheses, heavy breathing, you know. That's because it's strapped to my head. I thought the first time I used this thing, I'm like, that's what I sounded like to myself. I'm like, I don't breathe that heavily, but oh, I do when the camera's right next to my nostrils. Okay, enough of the self-deprecation. You know, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, look at this ratchet. All we did with this is clean it and oil it, and it's ready to go. That's all they did at Sears. That's all you'd be getting if you got a rebuilt back in the day. So, you know, you can't complain. This thing's working way better. It's going to be reliable. I use this one at home, so I'm going to take it back home with me, and when I need a half-inch, a little something to wrench on, I got it and I'm ready. Also, real good for clubbing.